Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Mushoku Tensei Season 2 episode number 18 reaction. So the previous episode was a very good episode. It was an episode where Rudy had to confront Norn, talk to her and sort out their differences. The whole situation with Norn being afraid of him and not being able to make friends, being isolated in this place, thinking that everyone is her enemy, and constantly people like comparing her to Rudy while she herself is afraid of Rudy. All that included, it was just too much for her to bear, so she just shut herself in her room, wasn't coming out, and Rudy knew if this escalated then this will go in a bad direction. She reminded him of himself in the previous world, and he realized what his brother must have felt when he came and tried to convince Rudy to share his troubles and get up back again. Rudy back then didn't like disregarded his brother's words, and his brother gave up. And Rudy realized how he must have felt, but Norn was strong enough to accept his hand and accept Rudy's help, and that is why Rudy was able to help her out as well. So by the end of it, everything is okay. Not everything is okay, but at least they're moving in a positive direction. And like Non is making an active effort to address Rudy and Sylphie, talk to them now, greet them, good morning and all that stuff. So yeah, things are looking better. So let's see what happens in today's episode 18. Let us get started. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Yeah, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, Lord, there you go. Hmm. Hmm. Project. Ah. Okay. Handed out his figurines. Okay. Well, he's starting. So yeah. Ah. Okay. Hmm. What, that cup, wasn't that cup a bit dis? Salad. Okay, that's fair enough. You know, flower seeds. Ah, no. Hmm. Oh yeah, because Rudy can, use earth magic. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yo, she's bargaining. Okay, don't. y- Okay, bruh. No, she just wants to bargain. Damn. uh, mm, mm. Okay. Organic objects. Ooh, like a plant or something. Or food, yeah. I guess it might be difficult to bring in a living thing like a plant, for now at least. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, so, mm, that person. Oh, what is that? Mm. Oh, wow. That's very limited edition. Okay. Oh, wait, did root. Nice. Oh, this lady. This is a new lady? Ginger. Hmm. Ah, alright, that's nice. Hmm. And then, wow. Oh my god, wait. Right. Not over. Oh. Hmm. Two problem. Yeah. Hmm. Monoculture too high. Oh. So we need someone with a lot of mana. Okay. Yeah, and Rudy has plenty of it, I guess. Rudy's daily training. Yes. Right. Okay, things seems quite good. I'm guessing maybe something's gonna happen now. Oh Lord. Um. What's happening? What? Ah, okay. I was wondering if that's what's going on. Okay. Yeah. Oh, he should even went to a doctor. Hmm. Yeah. Oh wait, I just real remembered. Sylphie did say that she might have troubles conceiving, didn't she? Because she's an half like elf and all that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. 2 years. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, but Zenith is still missing, you know, we have to. What happened? Oh no, what letter is this? Oh, yep, I knew some. So yeah, it's pretty obvious from the opening that, you know, Rudy will need to go and help them out. Oh my god, the man god. Oh, great. He's gonna give a prophecy or something. Oh, it's still true. So, he's telling you not to go. Oh boy. Disease. No, but this is obviously. Yeah, this is another thing he needs to take care of. No, I feel like I'll say the same thing. Mm, oh god. It does, but at the same time, it also. Yeah, that's true. You've been at the university. That's true. No. Oh. Okay. You got it. It's a great opportunity. Okay. Until then. What? What? Okay, shut the hell up. What type of advice is this? Oh my god, this man god is. He's just left? What type of. Okay, that is one of the most ridiculous advices I've ever heard. Yeah, the whole thing with. About his mother. A year. Yeah, and. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is. Uh, yeah, probably. He's trying to think like if you should stay here. What? 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 So yeah, Sana was like, you should go. Hmm. That's true, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, it's better that he stays here. Yeah, it's your decision. Like, if you're gonna regret something, do it and regret it. I think that's. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I also think he should go. Hmm. But I don't know. Oh, right. Trying to go and help, Zenith, obviously. Oh my god. No. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, he's going to go. Turning point three. Damn. Okay. That was today's episode then. Right. So when everything was looking like, oh, it was taking a good turn, like everything was going well. Sylphie was pregnant, and not only that, everything else. For example, the whole thing with Zanoba and his like figurines and all that. Elena Lees and Cliff, their whole situation as well about the research. Aisha was like happy. Non was happy. He was being taught by Rudy and stuff. Rudy was writing like a little, like a book about Rigid and the spirit's pasts. Nanahoshi's experiment with Nanahoshi was also going well. Everything was like looking pretty good. And then bam, in comes Hitogami's um, prophecy and the letter. So in the letter, Geese has said that we need help. Obviously, Rudy says like it's not Paul who sent any type of letter, but it was Geese. But obviously, Paul might be hesitating about asking for help, and like trying to do this on his own. So that's probably why Geese thought it was better he would write a letter to Rudy and tell him what's going on, and so that Rudy can come and help, because Paul will never ask for help in that way. So that's what happened. So the whole thing with Hitogami is interesting. He says that don't go there. If you go there, you'll regret it. And and Rudy's pissed. Rudy's like, wait, so you said that before as well, but now that I've gotten this letter, like, did you trick me? You said that if I go there, I'll regret it. But now that I'm here and I'm getting this letter, I'm regretting this now. So he's like, yeah, that's why I said that. If you go there, you'll regret it, and if you stay here, you'll also regret it. So it's a situation. But I would advise you to not go, because you surely regret it if you go there. So he's very vague in his explanation, with like which Rudy kind of points out. Rudy is like, why don't you tell me what I'm going to regret? Because if you tell me, I can judge based on what's going to happen if I go there and what's going to happen if I don't go there, and I can judge based on what will happen and how much the regret will be. And yeah, basically, if he gave him the answer, it would be very easy for him to take a decision. Or no, I guess not. It won't really be easy for him to take a decision, but he will at least know what he's getting into. But Hitogami is like very vague about it. He's like, no, I cannot say anything. All I can say is that if you go there, you'll regret it. So don't go. And he's very vague about why he might regret it. For example, he kind of says that that now that you're going to become a father, it'll take like almost like a year. You won't be able to be with Sylphie all this time. That and finally you're getting accustomed to your sisters as well. You'll be leaving them behind here as well. All these things. So he's kind of being very vague about the whole thing. So we don't know what he might regret if he goes there. But if he doesn't go there, he's definitely going to regret it. It's pretty obvious, as we were seeing. Like, they need help to save Zenith. So that whole thing is happening. So Rudy is like, I don't know what to do. Either way, Hitogami completely disregards his whole thing, and he's just gives like all these vague answers, and then he's like, oh, you want to hand the prophecy? Hear my advice? And he's like, yeah, tell me. And he's like, oh, my advice is, I think he says like wait for like a year or something, and then like either Linia or Pursena during like the mating season, like pursue one of them or something like that, he says. And Rudy's like, what the hell type of advice is this? He's like what are you on about? And he just says that and just leaves. So obviously, first of all, I don't know how much seriously I should take that advice, because I guess up until now his advice did come in help, because he advised Rudy about going to that place. You remember the place where he met. What was the name of that girl? Kishiruka Ken. Something, I forgot her name. The demon girl who gave her the eye. So that happened only because Rudy listened to Hitogami's advice. So that was, I guess, very helpful. And a few other advices he listened to him as well. It did help him out as well. Like in a very weird way it works, but at the end of the day it kind of helps him out. So I'm genuinely not sure how seriously I should take this advice, because this advice seems like a load of crap. Like literally, this advice seems like a load of crap. Like, what are you talking about? And as Rudy says, like, they are like, I'm not even interested in them, and they're also not interested in me in that way. Like, they just like follow me because I'm the boss. So like, what are you even on about? So he completely disregards Hitokame's advice there. But then again, I'm thinking, in the past his advice actually is helpful sometimes, but I feel like this advice that he's giving is a load of crap. I don't know why, but that's what I feel about it. So we set that aside for now. For now, what we need to do is think about what to do about this situation, and that's what he really decides to think about more. Completely, like, like, think about what he should do now. Should she go? Who he go and help out, like, in trying to save Zenith, or should he stay here? You know, at the beginning, he's like, oh, maybe I should stay here. But asking different people, he's getting like different responses. For example, he asks Enilanis, and Enilanis is like, oh, you should stay here, because obviously Enilanis is concerned about him and Sylphie as well, and that's why she's like, I'm concerned about my great, like a grandchild who will be born. Great grandchild, I'm guessing, yeah, because he's Enilanis' grandmother. That means great grandchild, yeah. So she's like, don't leave your family. Let me, like, take care of this in behalf of you. So Enilanis is going. That's why she's like, you don't have to go. While he asks Zanova, and Zanova says that, oh, if you want to, you can go, like, don't worry about it, I'll take care of everything over here. Or if you want me to go with you as well, I'll accompany you. But, like, I have to say that I'm a bit not accustomed to traveling. So I might be a burden, more of a burden on you than if I, don't go with you. So it'd be better if you go alone, or you don't take me. But if you want me to go, I'll follow you. Don't worry about it. Or you can let me stay here and I'll take care of everything else on your behalf. I'll make sure nothing harm comes to your family. So that's what he says. So, Zanaba encourages him to go ahead. So there you go. And obviously, Rudy himself is thinking what to do. At first, Rudy thinks that I shouldn't go. But then when, like, and Sylphie also says like, oh, you should go. You don't worry about it. But he's like, like, kind of thinking and all that. So in the end, you can see that Norn tries to leave, because obviously we know, like, Norn is definitely the most concerned about, not the most concerned, but, like, she is, like, obviously she has spent the most time with Paul, because after the whole Mana disaster, she was always with Paul and everything. So hearing that Paul and Zenith is in danger, obviously she'll try to go and help out in the situation. So she tries to leave the house, so that she could go there or something. And Rudy sees that, and in the end, Rudy realizes that, yeah, you know what, I should go. And I also think, like, like, it would be better if he goes, because, like, I don't know, like, this is the thing. Like, the thing is, we don't know what he will regret if he goes there, but we do know what he will regret if he stays here. If he stays here and doesn't respond to the letter, he'll definitely regret it in the future if something drastic happens. If somehow things go south and something happens, to, like, Paul and his party, or maybe they're not able to save Zenith, that is what he will regret forever, for the rest of his life. So we know what he's going to regret if he doesn't go, but the thing is, we don't know what he will regret if he goes. That's very vague, which is obviously, like, Rudy is very concerned about that thing. That is why he was hesitating so much. But for now, like, like, all that it seems like is that, as they say, as Zanova says, like, no, who was it? Was it Zanova, or who said that, like, a lot of mother, no, it was Sylphie said that, like, it's fine, like, even if no, it wasn't Sylphie, it was Zanova, wasn't it, who said that children grow, or children are born even if their fathers are absent, that kind of thing, which is true. Like, it's like Rudy's thinking that he'll regret something if he goes, and he's not sure about it. But for now, what he can make sense of is that he won't be able to stay with Sylvie and protect her and like give her the encouragement that she needs throughout these few months, and like he won't be there when his child is born. So that will obviously be a few of the things that he'll regret. Comparing that to what he'll regret if he doesn't go, which is maybe there's a possibility that they might lose Zenith, maybe there's a possibility they might lose Paul. I feel like that is like on a scale that's way heavier, and he's probably going to regret it the rest of his life if he doesn't. Like, if everything goes well, then it's fine. If something goes south, Rudy will always think that, oh, back then, if I went there, maybe I could have changed something. That'll always haunt him, you know. But yeah, the fact that Hitogami made this so much vague, and obviously he didn't give us the answer, so we don't know what Rudy might regret if he goes, But like, just thinking about the situation, like there's a lot of people a lot of very strong people here. She herself is very strong, but obviously she is pregnant, so like it might be a bit difficult for her to like take care of herself and protect herself, in case something happens here. Then there is Zanoba as well. Zanoba is extremely strong, we don't have to worry about that. I guess Bodyguard is here as well. I don't really know how much he will help us if something goes wrong here, but Bodyguard is a very powerful ally, if Rujit was here, then everything would have been fine, but Rujit left a few days ago, literally, so that's a shame. We have Luke here, but in a way, like, we did see, like in the battle against Luke and Rudy, comparing Rudy to Luke, Luke is nothing in front of Rudy. So in terms of power, like, Luke is obviously very weak to Rudy, but that doesn't mean he's weak. He's definitely very strong. He's Ariel's bodyguard, so he's definitely very strong. Also, from like, in basis of influence and like, I guess like stuff like that, Ariel is here. So Cliff is here as well. He's very strong as well. Who else are here that are very strong? Pusana and Linya, I guess they're okay. Like, I'm trying to think of the people who will be able to protect this place in case something goes south. That's what I'm trying to think. Is there anyone else who will be able to help us out or help Sylvie out in times of her need if she needs it here? No, I guess that's it, isn't it? I don't think I guess there's the school students and all that, but I don't know how much they can do about anything. But all these people are here, so in a sense, I feel like they are, here the situation is okay, but but obviously, like, Rudy's still thinking that, oh, things might, if something goes south, what's going to happen. Like, the one person I have obviously the most faith in here out of everyone is definitely Zanoba, because I feel like he's going to do everything to help in case something goes south, so yeah, I think, I'm not really sure. You know what, let's wait and see. But yeah, for now, I think Rudy going was definitely the better choice here, and yeah, but hopefully, as Hitogami said, if he regrets his decision in the future, then I don't know. But yeah, like, for now, I think Rudy took the right decision. Let's wait and see how this goes. So yeah, Rudy will now be traveling to help out Zenith and meet up with Paul and everyone else, I'm guessing. And you know what? It was pretty obvious from the opening that Rudy will be joining Paul and the others, and Roxy as well. I saw Roxy there as well in the opening to save Zenith. It was pretty obvious, so it wasn't a surprise when the letter came. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, well, obviously. Literally shows in the opening they're fighting like some kind of a dragon or something. I don't know what that is. So yeah, like, that wasn't surprising. But the surprising part, or the interesting part in today's episode, was basically Hitogami's like, advice that don't go or you'll regret it. That thing. So let's see. I was just thinking, like, is Rudy going to go alone now? No, I'm guessing Elinaris will be joining him, because like Elinaris is also going in the same direction. So I'm guessing if Rudy goes, Rudy will join Elinaris. Is there anyone else that will be joining them in this expedition? No, only these two will be going, and I'm guessing they will be meeting up with Paul, Roxy. I'm pretty sure Roxy will be there, and who else? And maybe Geese and all that, because Geese is the one who sent the letter, so I'm guessing Geese will be there as well. So yeah, but I'm curious as to what's happened to Zenith, because in the opening song we literally see her like in some kind of like a crystal or something, like in a weird, like in a way they kind of show that. I'm not really sure what's up with that, but yeah, I feel like she's somehow trapped somewhere, so they need to go and help her out. So yeah, let's wait and see how this goes. Oh, I completely forgot one person. I was, a few moments ago, I was literally like naming all the people who will be able to help us out and protect the place in case something goes south. I completely forgot about Nanahoshi. Nanahoshi is here. I guess Nanahoshi is obviously very significantly strong. So, like her being here is obviously a very good thing. She'll be able to help us out a lot, I guess. Um, yeah, I completely forgot about her for a moment there. So there you go. And that's it. That's how this episode went. And that's why it was called Turning Point 3, because I guess it is a turning point in his life. You know what? I'm kind of forgetting. Turning Point 1 was the Mana disaster, wasn't it? Or am I need to remember. There's three turning points up until now. One was the Mana disaster? Was that the Mana disaster? What was two? What was two? Oh, I cannot remember. But like obviously from looking at that, you can see like the turning points are usually the points where he has like a choice. Like he can take this, like like choice or that choice. That's why it's called a turning point, I'm guessing, or something like that. You know. You know what? Let me check. What were the first turning point was definitely the Mount Augusta, wasn't it? Let me check. Right. Turning point 1 is yeah, turning point 1 was the Mana disaster. What was turning point 2 then? I'm kind of forgetting this. Turning point 2. Oh my god, yeah, I've completely forgot. Orsted. Right. Oh, how can I forget that? Orsted, that was the turning point 2, wasn't it? Yeah. God damn. Yeah. Oh, that was turning point 2. Right. And this is turning point 3. In a way, this seems a lot tamer than the other two, doesn't it? Like turning point 1 was literally them getting just blasted into the air, like the whole thing, and just literally reappearing in different parts of the world, and half of the people dying. And the turning point 2 was literally Rudy almost dying and coming back to life. And this one seems a lot tamer in that way, but I feel like this turning point will probably be a gradual one, which we'll realize what's going on. Otherwise, why would it be called a turning point? Because the other two has been brutal up until now. This one seems like a decision, so it literally feels like a turning point in his life, so maybe like we're going to see the results of his consequences or something like that, here, and it will be like a gradual reveal of what's happening and how this is going to go. Right. Anyways, and there you go. That was today's episode. A good episode. Yeah, and now Rudy will be moving towards whoever they are to save, to help out with Zenith and help out Paul and the whole thing. Okay. Alright, so yeah, that was today's episode. Now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. Let me see if I missed something. I don't think I missed something because this episode has been fairly straightforward. The very first scene was Rudy talking about how his and Norn's relation has becoming better and better. Like nowadays he's like waving to Norn, and Norn is also kind of waving back to him. Norn is learning from Rudy. Rudy is like, I'm guessing, teaching her or something. And like Non is talking about like Richard's spear, and Rudy talks about how he's writing a book about Richard's past, about the spirit, trying to like just like take out the rumors about him and like his tribe, all the false like narratives that are surrounding them, and that is why people are afraid of them. So he's trying to kind of like dispel all of that. So he's thinking like how to write them and all that, and he's barely started. You can see it's like written like 2 or 3 lines, and Non is like, oh, can I help you out, because Rujat told me a lot of stories about his past and all that. I can help you out. Okay. So after that we get to see, like, that was the first thing was with Non, and then we get the whole thing with Aisha. So like I said, this episode literally was building up this whole thing where we see Rudy's interactions with each and every character and how it's getting better and better, and then finally dropping the thing where the letter comes. So first was Non's situation, then we get to see Aisha's situation, where Rudy is like, Aisha, like, do you want to, like, do you have something to say to me? Anything you want, or like, if you like if I'm paying more attention to Non, and you would, here we go. What is that? If you want something, just say it. And he says that, for example, I pay too much attention to Non, so you want more attention too. Because I guess Rudy says this because if you remember in the one of the previous episode, Non kind of compared herself to Non and talked about how she is the daughter of a mistress, while Non is all that stuff. And we know, like, that episode what happened, and how like how Non's grandmother, I think, yeah, and her mother told that the same thing. And Rudy was like, why are you like saying that? Like I've considered both of you my sisters. So Rudy remembered that, and that's why Rudy's probably asking her, like, are you like bothered that I pay much attention to Non, so you want more attention, or something like that. Because like I guess, like, like, obviously the whole thing with Non, Rudy definitely needed to pay more attention to Non, because her situation was a bit more trickier and a more complicated one. So to make the relationship better, he needed to pay more attention to Non. While comparing that to Aisha's situation and her relation with Rudy is a lot more positive and better than how it was with Non. So obviously Rudy will pay more attention to Non to, like, for them to like mend their relationship. So that is why Rudy was thinking, like, if since I'm doing that, maybe Aisha is feeling that I'm not paying attention to her, because again, she said this literally before, that because she's a mistress's daughter. She's Paul's mistress's daughter. Like, Rudy's probably thinking that Aisha might be thinking stuff like that. So that's why he asked here, like, like, you want to say something, like, maybe like I pay more attention to Non and you want more attention. But Aisha's like, no, like, nothing like that. But I do have something to ask of you. So she's like, can I get a little salary? And Rudy was probably like, yeah, sure, why not? And then they go out shopping. So what did she want to buy with that money? She wanted like some flower pots and stuff. She wants to plant the flower seeds that she collected while traveling. And she also tells Rudy that, oh, I want you to make the soil with magic. And I love how whenever she's asking something from Rudy, she's like, oh, is it too much trouble? Kind of. And Rudy's like, no trouble at all. Oh boy. Oh boy, she knows. uh, okay, and then, like, Rudy was like buying like earrings for Sylvie, and yeah. So after that, you can see Aisha's like bargaining for, like, what was it she bargaining for? Like a, oh, like a little curtain or something, yeah. And the shopkeeper at first was like, oh, no bargaining, but she's like, like, I'm actually like Rudius Grey Rat's acquaintance, and Rudius Grey Rat is good friends with Princess Ariel. So, like, just think about that, and maybe you can tweak the price a little bit. And the shopkeeper was like, okay, all right then. Like, I'll listen to you. I'll give you a discount. Right. And Rudy was like, wait, if you need money, you can ask me. And Aisha's like, no, that's not the point. Right. Anyways, um, so yeah. And Rudy's like, did you like always want these type of things? And Aisha says like, I wanted it, but my mother and like people said that a maid shouldn't buy a decoration based on their own tastes. And then she's like, oh, like, is it too much to ask? Is it not allowed? But Rudy's like, no, don't worry about it. Right. So that was the whole thing with Aisha. So Aisha and his relationship is going well as well. Then the whole thing with Nanahoshi, where like Nanahoshi is now trying to experiment to bring organic stuff. So at first I was thinking like, oh, like plants or something, but she says like, no, like a food material. Now I guess it makes sense because I feel like plants will probably be the next step after this, because like, as they say, like how they're doing it is like in steps. At first they tried to bring and was successful in bringing an inanimate object, like and like now they're trying to bring like an organic object. The next step after this will probably be like bringing in like a living object, more of like a plant or something. And then they'll probably switch to like an insect or something like that, and then finally like animals and maybe humans as well. But I feel like bringing a human here would be very wrong in a lot of ways, so I don't think they'll be doing that. Right. Like, imagine just getting transported to this world and Nanahoshi and Rudy being like, oh, it was just an experiment, we're just experimenting. Right, that would be bad. Okay, so Rudy has says, is it necessary to provide specific criteria? Because there's a few criteria there. And she says, yeah, it would be troublesome if I ended up being teleported to a foreign country, right? Which is true. Basically, if the summoning has to get closer and closer to a human being. So we can see like a can, then a flower, then like a rat. Okay, at the very end, it needs to be able to pinpoint the return location in Japan. And then like, okay. So Nanahoshi says something here. She says like, I suppose I have to see that person again for this research to provide criteria. And Rudy's like, that summoning expert you mentioned before. And she's like, yes. Okay, and she's like, I like, like, here we go, here's the reward. And she gave him a reward of like a summoning circle of lamplight spirit. So the lamplight spirit will follow him around where he goes. So it's like a little light source, I'm guessing. And she's like, oh, this is like a rare one. So Rudy's like, you know what, if it's a limited version, I'll keep it with me. And she also promises a better reward, if he keeps helping her with this. So there you go. So that's the whole thing with Nanahoshi. So we got to see the situation with Non, everything looks well. Aisha, everything looks well. Nanahoshi, everything looks well. Now the whole thing with Zanoba and Julie. So Zanoba has given a little dragon figurine to Julie. He's finally succeeded making a figurine in his own way, and given Julie that present. So it's like a very nice thing. And then we also see Miss Ginger, who came here to help sell Zanoba again. And Rudy's like Miss Ginger, like like why are you like so loyal to Zanoba? And she's like, oh, because Zanoba's mother asked me to do this, and I swore in that moment to devote myself to him, like all that stuff. And and Rudy remembers how Zanoba told him before that he has no subordinates, and he's just led his companion. Here we go, my last subordinate. I exchange it with my Roxy figurine. And Rudy's like, even after all of that, she's still doing all of this for him. So, that is also like a familial relationship. So that's the whole thing with them. Then we go to Cliff. So Cliff has been able to make like an object, like a magical apparatus, I think. So he says it's not able to suppress it completely, but it's possible to extend the limit several times. In other words, it can relieve the symptoms of Elena Lee's curse. But there's two problems. The first problem is that, as Rudy says, it's a bit weird looking, it's tacky, as he says. Um, and then the final problem is that the mana consumption of this magical implement is too high. So yeah, Rudy's like, okay, they're like, let alone leases, even my mana won't last 1 hour. So that'll be a problem, wouldn't it? Like, if it just sucks up all your mana, that'll be a big problem. So he's trying to tweak that as well. Since the number of experiments I can do in a day is limited, I want you to test it with your mana. Because, Root has a lot of mana, it'll be able to help out with the whole thing. So, like that, Cliff is also moving closer and closer to his goal. So Root is like, everything is going well. Like my whole relationship and everything is going well. Like he's like teaching wrong, doing my morning walk, like jogging, doing my training, teaching Norn, going to school, teaching Norn, then like coming back, then helping Nanoshu with the experiment, attending classes, coming back with Sylphie, spending time with Sylphie and Aisha, and then just spending time with Sylphie, going to sleep, wake up, repeat. So that's how it's going. Everything's looking well, and yeah. So after that, one morning, everyone's kind of like a bit jittery, and Rudy's like, "What's happening, guys?" And Sylphie's like, "Oh, my period hasn't come," and she's like, "Wait, what?" Then he realizes, and Sylphie's like, "Yeah, I went to the doctor, and I'm pregnant." So now I kind of forgot about this because Sylvie literally mentioned this a few episodes ago. She said that since I'm an elf, like a mixture of an elf and human, I might have trouble conceiving. So I remember she said something like, "Oh, you might take mistresses" or something like that. She said, but this just she said that literally a few episodes ago. Now she's already pregnant. So I'm like, okay, everything worked well. Worked well then. So there's no need to worry. And obviously Rudy's very happy, and there you go. So that's that. She tells this to Norn as well. Norn is very happy as well. So they talk about how if giving this news to Paul will be a good idea. Obviously Paul will also be very happy. They're thinking about all of that, and and Rudy's thinking about one day there'll be again a family, Sylphie will be there, his sisters will be there, Paul will be there, Zenith will be there, Lilia will be there, everyone will be there, and they'll be a happy family. He's thinking about that. And then immediately the next scene, a letter has come. In the letter it's written, "We need reinforcements to help in the rescue of Zenith. Help having trouble rescuing Zenith." And Give sent this letter to him. Immediately the next thing, we get a meeting with Hitogami, and here we go. So Rudy's pissed. Why is he pissed? Because, okay, here we go. He says, "Didn't you say that I would regret it if I went to Begarit continent? Were you trying to lie to me?" And he's like, "Oh, no, obviously not. You'll regret it if you go there. I'm still saying that." And then Rudy's like, "What does that mean? Does that mean that I'll regret it if I go to the Begarit continent? I'll also regret it if I don't go. Is that what you want to say?" And he's like, "Oh, no, that's not what I'm saying. Have you ever felt regret until yesterday?" And he's like, "Yeah, everything's going well. So you've met a lot of people, you have friends, family, you're also having a kid, So yeah, it's not bad. Everything is you've never regretted up until now." And he's like, "Yeah. But still, you told me not to go there. You tricked me." Now there's a few things that Hitogami says here which is very interesting. Here we go. He says that even now I'll say the same thing. Don't go to Begarit continent, I'll definitely regret it. He's like, "But my family is in trouble." And he's like, "Can you please tell me, what will I regret? So that I can, put them on a scale. If I don't go, what I'll regret. If I go, what I'll regret." But it's like, "No, I ain't saying anything." And obviously Rudy's like, I don't want to regret it, so tell me. I don't care what you have to tell me, just tell me. Now obviously you can understand, like, Rudy has a lot of stuff that has happened to his previous life. One of the like biggest things that he doesn't want to be a repeat in this life as well is this regret that he felt back then. He doesn't want to regret anything. That's why he's trying his best to like, find a path where he won't regret. That's why it is very important for him in this situation to know what he will regret if he doesn't go and what he'll regret if he goes, so that he can properly judge. But Hitogami is not telling him. Okay, so Hitogami says a few things over here. Like I said, this is very interesting, this whole conversation. He says that, where you go, you've been at the university for a year and a half. It took a year for the two sisters to get here. Had you gone there, you would have missed each other. Rudy's like, no, my sisters are here because of my letter. If I hadn't sent the letter, they would have stuck around in Millis or waited in Eastport. So he's like, yeah, they wouldn't have come here. Hitokome's like, no, even without your letter, Paul would have sent them to Asura Kingdom. And because Lilia's family is there. He's like, okay, I see, you have a point. So, and he says like things aren't so different now. What will happen to Sylphie and your child if you leave now? Okay, yeah, so this is what I was saying. Like, so basically Hitogami is saying that it would have been the same result even if he went there, and they would have been sent there. So, what I'm thinking? I think I understand and realize what is this regret Hitogami is talking about. Like, it's pretty obvious what he'll regret if he doesn't go, but I think I know what he's going to regret if he goes. I think something regarding the the whole like the political thing that's going on with like Asura Kingdom and Ariel, Princess Ariel and all that stuff that is happening. I feel like something related to that will happen here, because obviously Ariel is here, because like I think that's why he's saying if you go you regret it, because something like that will happen and Rudy will be absent here. So these people will definitely need help, while Rudy would have been a big asset in that situation. If Rudy goes to the continent, to the whole like situation with Zenith, he won't be able to help out here. So that is something he will regret. I think something like that is going to happen. I don't know why, but that's the only thing that my head can think of in this situation, because that's the most obvious one, because Princess Ariel is here, and it wouldn't surprise me if something related to that political like situation, if it comes over here, and everyone here will be in trouble because of that. If like some kind of a war breaks out or something, like some kind of political struggle breaks out here, then that will be like something crazy. So I feel like it's something related to that. So that's why Hitokami is like, don't go there. If you go there, you regret it. I don't know. That's just the only thing that I can think about. Either way, so yeah, but he doesn't say any of that. He says like, what will happen to Sylphie and your child if you leave? Will you going to beg it and going help be that simple? Do you want to leave your wife alone at that time? You'll also miss a great opportunity if you go to Begarit Kingdom. Wait a minute, what does it say here? Miss a great opportunity. Yeah, it's impossible to avoid having any regrets. You will also miss a great opportunity if you go to the Begarit continent. Interesting. So that's also another thing he mentions. So Rudy at first is like, alright, fine. I might regret it if I go, so I'll listen to you for now. Hitsuko's like, alright, so you want to hear my advice? And then he's like, fine, go ahead. And he's like, Rudius, wait for the next mating season. Lilia and Pursena will pursue you during that time. Begin a relationship with either of them. Doing so, you will be even more happier. Rudy's like, what are you even on about? And Rudy's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Also, the fact that Lilia and Pursena, like, I'm not really interested in them. In the first place, I don't have that kind of relationship with them. Hitokami just leaves them. So like I said, I genuinely am not really that, like, um paying that much attention to this advice that he gave him, because up until now the advice he has given him, it has worked out pretty well. But this advice, I feel like, is just a load of crap, because, like, I don't know, it's just, yeah. So I and obviously Rudy also doesn't mention anything about that. Rudy completely disregards it, and he's thinking about what to do with the whole, like, Zenith situation. So Sylvie talks to him, and Sylvie's like, "Is it, like, because of the letter?" And Sylvie says, like, like, don't worry about me. You can go. Both Non and Aisha are also very worried about the letter, so and don't worry about it. Everything will be fine here. At which Rudy's like, no, I won't leave. So Rudy's like in his head after that, trying to justify what he did. Like, he's like going on runs and doing everything normally. But in his head, he's constantly thinking about it. And he's thinking that, oh, maybe they've already saved the whole situation. Maybe, like, everything is okay now. Like, all that stuff. And, and Geese just missed them. And they've already saved Zenith, but Geese missed them and he sent the letter to me. So if I go there, maybe I won't even be needed. So all these things he's thinking. So he's like, yeah, you know what, it's fine, I won't go. He asks for advice after that. He goes to Elena Elise, and Elena Elise tells him to stay here, because obviously Elena Elise doesn't want him to get involved in any type of problems, because obviously he is married to Sylvie and he's having his child. Obviously Elena Elise is having his great granddaughter, daughter, or like, wait, this is for the sake of my granddaughter. Oh, granddaughter. No, okay. No, great grandchild. I don't know if it'll be a daughter or a son, but like, this is for the sake of my granddaughter and her husband, and obviously the child as well that they're going to have. So let me take care of this. So you stay here, I'll go in behalf, and I'll take care of it. So that is why Elena is like, you don't have to go. You stay here. At which Rudy's like, what about Cliff? And he's like, oh, I broke up with him, and I'm sure, like, like, this he can remember this as like his it's best to treat his love for me as a useful indecision discretion. And yeah, and she's like, I'll go there and take care of this, so don't worry. That was Eleanor's advice. Zanova says that, oh, if you want to go, you can go. You can leave the research to me, you can leave everything else to me, I'll protect everyone here. Don't worry about it. Or if you want me to go with you, I can also go with you. But let me tell you this, I'm not good with traveling, so I might be a burden to you more than being of help. So me staying here will be the best scenario. So, but if you want me to go, I can go with you. So that's what Zanova says. At which Rudy says, like, I thought you were going to, like, either say that, oh, I'll go with you, or like, I will, like you'll insist on helping me out. At which he says, like, yeah, but like, if you want that, I'll definitely do that. But I think, like things here, I might be able to do a better thing about it. Other than, like, instead of just going with you, I might be able to do a better job here. So I'll hold the fort for you. And this is what Zanova says, that children will be born even if their father isn't here. If you're worried, shouldn't you go? Which is true. Like I said, yeah, like later down the line, if a day comes when something, like, he's probably going to regret if he doesn't go today. So something like that. So there you go. And after that, Rudy is still thinking, like, Rudy goes back to his room, like, goes to sleep, and he's thinking about it, and he's like, you know what? I'm the backbone of this place now. I should stay here. I'll not go. So yeah, he's sitting outside, and Norn packed her bag, and is trying to leave. At which Rudy realizes what's happening, and Norn says that, if you don't go, I'll go there myself. And Norn says that, like, isn't dad and mom in danger? So I want to help them. Like, big brother, you have the power to save them. Why don't you go and save them? You're very strong. You know how to travel. Instead of me, like, trying to go there and help them out, it'll be way more easier for you to go there and help them out. So I cannot even go if I want to, but you can do it. Like, can't you go there and save them? I'm sure you're more than strong enough for that. At which Rudy thinks, and Rudy's like, yeah, you know what? It's correct. And Rudy says like, okay, I'll go there. So you stay here with Sylvie and Aisha, and yeah, I'll be on my way. And that's where it ended. So there you go. Like, yeah, that was today's episode. Like I said, today's episode was obviously very interesting in the sense that Hitogami literally told him like a riddle. He was like, if you go there, you'll regret it. If you don't go there, you're also regretting it now. So I would advise you to not go there, because if you go there, you'll definitely regret it. So it's a very like a weird thing here. Obviously, we know what he will regret if he doesn't go, but we don't know what he will regret if he goes. So yeah, and that's what I'm saying, and this is where my theory comes to play. I think after he leaves, something related to the Asura kingdom, the whole political like instability that's going on, like related to Ariel and everything, that's going to happen. Something related to that is going to happen, and Sylvie and everyone else will probably get involved in that, while Rudy will be there trying to save Zenith at that time. So this is probably something that will happen, and this was probably the regret Hitogami was talking about. If he goes, he'll regret this, leaving them alone in the crucial time. So something like I'm just thinking, because that's the only thing that is coming to my mind in this type of situation. If anything goes wrong, it will be probably something related to that. This whole political, like thing going on, like with like Princess Ariel and all that. So yeah, I might be completely wrong, but I feel like this is a good enough guess. Yeah. So let's see how it goes, and yeah, hopefully everyone stays well. Like like I said, there are a few people here who I'm pretty confident will be able to help out. For example, Zanoba, in case like things go south and in emergency situation, Zanoba, and I feel like Nanahoshi and Badigadi, if he decides to help us out, will be a good asset in this situation. And there's others as well who can help us out, but these three I feel like will be very good help. So yeah, and I would have included Sylvie here as well, but I'm not including Sylvie because I'm sure she has her own troubles with her pregnancy. She probably won't be able to fight, or she shouldn't be allowed to fight, at least if you want, if something goes south, and if like if you want your child to be okay, you shouldn't put stress on yourself. So I feel like like things like the best case scenario will be she doesn't have one has to fight. That's why I'm not including Sylvie. I would have included Sylvie in these group of people as well, because Sylvie is very strong as well, but I'm not including her because she's technically someone who shouldn't be doing anything of that sort, at least now. So yeah, something like that. Right, so that is it, guys. That was my reaction to today's episode number 18 of Mushoku Tensei Season 2. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below. Anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. That is it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Mushoku Tensei. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.